Real controversial one here, I think. Kyle Lowry. Where are we putting Kyle Lowry?
Oh, I think he probably belongs in D, right?
I think C.
I'm pretty confident all those guys in C are better than him.
Yeah, I think Malcolm Brogdon is
Dude,
definitely.
Kyle Lowry's better than Jordan Clarkson. Who are we kidding here? Like, come on. What are we talking about?
Kyle Lowry was not good. He had his moments.
Did you watch the playoffs? Did you watch the playoffs,
He's
Jacob?
good in the playoffs.
He
Bad
was
Jordan
regular
Clarkson
season,
played for a
good in
team that
playoffs.
ended up in the lottery. Like,
yeah, but he put up like 18 points.
oh, so
a game.
he put up points per game?
Yeah,
Wow.
motherfucker.
Kyle Lowry played great defense and
my God.
was fantastic. in the
21
playoffs.
points a game.
I forgot. You love Jamal Crawford, right? You'd have Jamal Crawford in C tier, wouldn't you?
He was efficient.
Okay,
for
Jordan
one
Clarkson
thing.
is basically just Jamal Crawford. So
I don't know if I agree with that. He was efficient, has played well in the playoffs throughout his career, unlike Jamal Crawford. But
okay, my point is that if all we're talking about is points per game, then why didn't we just rank top scorers in the NBA?
I am not suggesting it's as simple as points per game. I just think Jordan Clarkson's better than Kyle Lowry. Not by like a wide margin, but I guess if you want to put him in C tier, I'm more comfortable with him in D. But C is not like egregious. But my problem with him is he's so fucking inconsistent. Sometimes he looks like he is a corpse on the court, and then sometimes he looks like Kyle Lowry.
I mean, there's a lot of guys on here that we can talk about inconsistency.
Yeah,
But are we gonna like split hairs like that? Like,
it doesn't.
dude,
feel
he
like
was
splitting
like
hairs
a
to me.
big part of the Heat making the finals. They went to the finals.
Okay, I get it.
Alex's
I don't know
passion
what
is
the
really
argument
convincing
is
me.
for like somehow Kyle Lowry being on a tier under Jordan Clarkson. That's genuinely insane to me.
I don't agree. I feel like maybe you just have some anger towards Jordan Clarkson. I don't know what Jordan Clarkson did.
I don't have an issue with Jordan Clarkson. I just think Kyle Lowry provides as much, and debatably, maybe not this past year. Arguably, he provides more value in the playoffs this year. He provided a ton of value. So I just don't see the argument for Clarkson deserving to be a tier above him. So either we move both of them down to D tier, or Kyle Lowry goes in C tier. I think Kyle Lowry belongs in C tier.
Okay, so here's what I suggest. We move Cole and Jordan down to D, and we put Kyle Lowry in C. Does that sound
What?
reasonable to everybody? Cole and Jordan down to D, and Kyle Lowry into C. I think that's pretty reasonable, personally. But, I'm the casual here. So, chat, what do we think?
I'm actually getting called the casual in the chat right now, which is
Yeah, I
hilarious
think
to me
you're-
if you've ever watched any of my
Yeah.
videos.
Yeah,
Right?
Alex is definitely not a casual, but I do think you're not giving Jordan Clarkson enough credit. Like,
I'm
it's
saying
not-
he
it's not
should.
the same
I'm just
thing.
saying Lowry should be on the same. I'm not saying Jordan Clarkson isn't good. I'm saying Kyle Lowry belongs on the same tier.
Frankly, I agree.
mean, if we're okay, let me just put it this way. Over the last 17 playoff games that Jordan Clarkson has played, he averaged 17 points per game, 17.5 on fucking like 60% true shooting on average. If this stupid fucking page would refresh, 59.
Mia says Kyle Lowry S tier. Frankly, I agree. But, I have to bite my tongue on this as the pro casual here. Future Hall of
I'm
Famer, this is
also-
actually true.
Kyle Lowry is a more well-rounded player. Jordan Clarkson's the better scorer. I think they're similarly enough tiered, but I don't know.
I'm also
Whatever.
realizing we probably put Cole Anthony a little too high.
I mean, his stats
I
last
don't
year
hate
are
him
pretty
there.
fucking
I just
good.
yeah, we can leave him. We don't have to go back to the new player.
New player. All
Can't
right.
believe we spent that long talking about that.
We had to. Naturally, I'm going to just go ahead and skip this. And
13 and 4 average true shooting percentage. Tyus
I'd
Jones
say
is
C
not
tier.
S tier.
so I'm going to put both these guys on at the same time. We got Devin Booker, obviously not a point guard, but also obviously not a point guard is Bradley
Bradley
Beal. But one of
Beal-
these guys has to play point guard on this frickin' Suns team.
And I think it will be Bradley Beal, so I'm okay considering him a point guard for this list. I think that's actually valid.
Okay. Alex, how do you feel about this?
Unless
Obviously,
we're taking
this
this-
is 2-2s.
Are we
but one's
taking
going to
the-
play point.
Now, are we taking the approach of these are guys who were point guards guards last year or guys who will be point guards? Because I'm pretty confident Beal will be at least the one listed at point guard for the Suns.
Chat is pretty split. I'm seeing some say Booker,
I think-
some say Beal, so
I think
it's hard to really say one way or the other.
maybe
I think Booker's S tier.
Yeah.
So leaving Booker on here and we're putting him in S tier. That's what I'm cool with. He's a top 10 NBA
I mean,
player,
I
probably.
think Beal's the smaller player. I think he's just going to be the one listed at point guard. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we should just go at who's listed at point guard, and we should rank Bradley Beal, not Devin Booker.
Alternatively, we can delete both and not have a Suns point guard on here who starts.
I'd rather just rank Bradley Beal.
Alex, are we eliminating Booker or are we keeping him?
I don't even know at this point. You guys decide.
Yeah,
This
I'll
is
I'll
such
put the
a
tiny guy.
mess.
Oh, yeah. That's
yeah,
what
Beal,
this is all about.
B tier, right?
Yeah.
Or do we want to? I don't know.
I mean, Bradley Beal on the same tier as Derek White doesn't quite sound right, but
I mean, he's not. He's not like. He does.
Derek White ain't leading the league in scoring, you know.
He hasn't done that in a long time.
But he ain't. Derek White's never gonna do it.
It's true. You know, he was 23-5 this previous season. A little bit better than league average true shooting. I mean, his stats are not much more impressive than Tyrese Maxey's.
I'm cool with putting him in B tier, but
He's
I
also
think-
just a horrible defender.
yeah, like
Yeah.
one of the worst. But so is Anthony Simons, so I suppose it all balances out. Marcus Smart, where are we putting him, fellas? This is a difficult one, I think. I'm feeling B, but that's my B is for bias, you know. He's a
He hasn't
Grizzly
even
legend
played
now.
a single game for your team.
But
I'm-
I've been a big Marcus Smart fan.
I'm
Well
feeling.
before he was a Grizzly, though. I've been a huge Marcus Smart guy.
I don't know. Marcus Smart is such a hard player to evaluate because he can be the best player on the floor every once in a while, and then also be the reason his team loses. And like neither of those outcomes are surprising.
He's got to be at least as good as Derek White and better than Brogdon.
I don't know. He's worse than Derek White. He definitely is worse than Derek White. Alex, we can't hear you.
Alex is
Absolutely
gone.
not as
mute.
good as Derek
Oh, there
White.
we go. He came back. It just the audio had like a
A
latency
huge
to
delay.
it. Yeah.
He is not as good as Derek White. I mean, he's probably C tier. I don't think he's as good as anybody in B tier.
C tier.
Alex, leave the studio and come back real quick, like refresh Chrome or something, because your audio is coming in 5 seconds later. All right. So what's our verdict?
Yeah,
According
we're
to you,
definitely
Jacob?
C. We're definitely in C tier.
Wow. All right. Ben Simmons and Marcus Smart on the same tier.
That's why Ben Simmons shouldn't be in fucking C tier, but whatever. Ben Simmons, one of these is not like the other. I don't know why Ben
Straight
Simmons
up.
is here.
Man, that is
Not my list, everybody. This is a
that
group
is so
list.
bothersome.
He's just not. He was just not great. He impacted defenses. He impacted defense a lot, and then his offense was just so problematic.
Chat is saying move Ben down.
Especially playing next to Nicholas Claxton, man. The negative that he was offensively was very significant. So much so
We'll
that
see
like,
if Alex notices Ben when he comes back.
no one say anything. Shh.
Chat, seriously, shut the fuck up. Talk about something else.
Oh shit! Alex is calling me.
What's popping, Alex?
Oh, he called you. Got it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that makes
yeah.
sense. All right, I'll send it to you on Twitter.
Sorry about the technical difficulty, ladies and gentlemen. Alex does not have a link to join the stream we're currently in, which is not ideal for being here.
The beard, James Harden.
Uh-oh. I was worried about this one.
Yep.
F.
S for sabotage.
I say we let the chat vote on this one.
Yeah,
Let the chat.
I agree.
This
This is the one.
democracy poll.
Yeah.
All right. Let me get that set up right quick.
Because god damn, it's even like he's so hard to get a grasp of how good he actually is. Like if we're talking about the playoffs, like yeah, he had games where he shit his pants, and he had games where he put up fucking 40, which we didn't even think he could do in a playoff setting anymore. So you know he's had positives, he's had negatives. Now if we're talking about his fucking attitude, if we're talking about who we want on our NBA team, I don't know that James Harden's high on that tier list. But
All right,
we're
everyone
talking
in the
about-
chat, go ahead and hit that poll for me.
We're talking about pure basketball ability here. The problem just though, what it comes down to with Harden that will hold him back. If Harden, from what he could be if he was consistent, is an A-tier player. I don't think there's a question about that if James is consistent. So it really is harboring on how much we're knocking him for that.
I do want to say, to take a little step backwards, Dober Investment gave us another $5. He said, Trey for S tier, bias Hawks fan. Thank you very much for your donation, Dober. Do love those $5.
Yeah.
Help keep this show going. But James Harden, democracy will decide. In the meantime, let's just do some easy ones. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, A tier, S tier. Which is it?
I would go
Oh,
S.
hold on, I'm gonna get overstimulated here. We gotta wait for this Harden thing to be done.
Oh, we gotta wait first. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'll delete that ominous picture of Shai. Which I really wish NBA Media Day had already happened, because I downloaded, like I told you guys earlier, 82 player heads today, and they also have, their old jerseys from their old teams with the 6 insignia and yada yada. So I'm really disappointed that NBA Media Day has not happened yet for my own personal reasons. But that is neither here nor there. Let's see how the democracy is skewing. Yeah.
The problem with James Harden right now is that if we put him, chat voted for B tier. If we put him on B tier, he is on the same tier as Tyrese Maxey, who I love Tyrese Maxey, but he is not better than James Harden. So things get weird.
It's also like a single digit number of votes skewing it towards B. It's right now it's currently tied at 46% between A and B. So every vote counts. We currently got 169 votes in there, 420 watching right now. So
I think
this gets over 200, and it's more skewed one way or the other. Then I'll close the poll.
I think A is probably the way to go. It's starting to.
I think A. Oh, it's pulled away anyways. It's A tier.
Yeah. It's going nowhere. It's A tier. And when it crosses 200, I will stop the count. Yes. As soon as you brought up Tyrese Maxey, it really skewed it towards A tier. It's now at 49 to 43, with 8% of people voting for either S or C.
I gotta say, I was looking
tier.
at the chat, and there were a lot of people suggesting that SGA is not a fucking S tier player, and it's kind of driving me nuts.
Well, put James Harden in A.
Let's
yes.
Just
establish
in the poll with 51%, and we'll throw James Harden into A. If you're listening at home, sorry that this is not the best purely audio show, but it still should be pretty entertaining, so apologize for not being optimized for the audio platform. But if you want more, please come over to the YouTube channel, catch us live on also Rusty Buckets. So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander,
S tier. He's S tier.
Absolute S tier for me.
Yes.
But I will
top 3
say,
in MVP voting. He was 3rd in MVP or top 5 in MVP voting.
Yeah, he was 5th, not 3rd.
He averaged what 31 points per game. Dragged, and I'm an OKC fan. I'm not hating on OKC, but like that team, the only reason they made the play-in tournament is because of him being otherworldly, and then like Jalen Williams being better than anyone thought he was going to be his rookie year.
Dude, it's driving me crazy, some of the shit I'm seeing in this chat. SGA isn't a top 10 player. What? Who the fuck is? There are not 10 players better than SGA. He was 5th in MVP voting, which obviously doesn't mean that much, but clearly that's some level of recognition that he's up there in that echelon. And he's also one of the most clutch players in the entire league.
He's literally better than everyone in A.
Yeah.
That's not a question. He's better than everybody in A.
Yeah. I think guys like
Morant might be on the same level.
I think guys like Ja.
He's not.
I think Ja is, he's teetering on S, so he would be the closest, I guess. But ultimate accidental bar. But SGA is fucking S tier, and I'm not going to hear anyone else about it.
Yeah, I don't really care what the chat says about this. He's S tier.
Yeah, and I'm not an OKC fan, so I have no fucking bias. I mean, I kind of am, but I'm not actually an OKC fan for real.